Okay, it looks like everyone's in. Thank you for joining us for the ISTA Digital Live Demo today. I am Lisa Bonsignor. I am the Vice President of Events, and I am here to introduce Matt Thompson. So Matt, you can go ahead and get started.
Thanks, Lisa, very much. I appreciate it. My name is Matt Thompson. Like Lisa said, I'm Vice President of Program and Market Development at ISTA. I've been here at ISTA. My voice is breaking a little bit. I've been here at ISTA for 3 years now, and I'm excited to go through and talk and provide a demo for ISTA Digital. ISTA Digital has been out since last April. So just coming up, we're just a few months short of a year. We're very excited about how it's going so far, and it's a platform on which we are building and investing a lot, and we have an exciting future ahead of us with respect to that. If everybody could mute your microphone, that would be great. Appreciate you joining this morning or this afternoon or this evening, wherever you're joining. We have people that are registered for this demo from all around the world. And ISTA Digital is a digital service that's available, an application platform that's available at no charge to our membership. So I'll be mentioning that several times as we move forward. If you have any questions about the presentation that I'll give and then the demo as well, you're welcome after after the demo to speak up. Mute your microphones and ask questions if we have time at the end, or if you have any questions and you want to add them to the chat, we'll try to get to them during the demo itself today. If not, I'll follow up with you individually after this call. So we're going to go for about 45 minutes and get started here. So thanks for joining. Okay, so like I said, ISTA Digital is a benefit to ISTA members. It's available at no extra charge when you're an ISTA member. And it is something that you do have to activate your account. So you can go to digital.ista.org. Our regular website is just ista.org. And if you go to digital.ista.org, that will get you to the sign up and sign in screen. If you've already activated your ISTA Digital account, then it'll take you right in and ask you to log in, and you'll get right in. And if you haven't signed up and activated your ISTA Digital account, you can just follow the prompts to sign up for ISTA Digital at the bottom of the screen, and it'll walk you through the process of signing in. Okay, so we're very excited about this platform. As I mentioned, we announced and rolled it out last April. And I'll go through and I'll go through a presentation probably for the next 20 or 25 minutes, and then use the last 20 or 25 minutes to do a demo itself in the system. Okay, so there's three different sections. If you've heard me talk about ISTA Digital before, you've heard about me talk about this. So thanks for being patient. But I'm actually going to be showing some new stuff today that we've never revealed to anyone before. It's specifically about the Connect side of the application that we're going to be talking about at our ISTA forum in a couple months. And you can look forward to that rolling out later this spring. So I'll talk about that shortly. But so some old stuff that I've gone over before for those of you that are new, and some new stuff to everyone. And we appreciate your attendance today. So collect, connect, and design are the three different sections. But if you have worked with ISTA before, if you're an ISTA member thinking about becoming an ISTA member, or know about our association, you know that test procedures, test standards are a real big part of what we do. And you won't hear me talk a lot about test projects or test standards or procedures today. But I assure you that we're working on that. You're going to see that on ISTA Digital in the future. There's a lot of really exciting things to come later this year or next, and as it relates to testing and test procedures. So there's a lot of tools that are going to be involved. So once again, when you look in the system is something that we're building on for the future. And what you see in ISTA Digital right now is not what it's going to be in the future. There's just some exciting things that I'll refer to that are available right now, but much more that's coming in the future. So let's talk about Collect first. Collect is focused on collecting both observational data and logger data into the system. The Collect data on the observational side is available right now, and we have our first big tool in the system is distribution mapping. So you can create your own distribution maps using these Collect features in the system. So what is observational data? It kind of speaks for itself by the name, but it's what you can see, what you can measure, what you can take videos or take pictures of, and have location information in the system. And you can add that to your projects in the system. Any project in the system, and I'll talk more about projects, what projects are a little bit later. But any project, you can add a distribution map to any type of project in the system. So that's something very exciting. Here's a look at what a distribution map might look like when you're starting to create it. There's the different blocks across the top, the rectangles across the top from left to right. On a timeline are distribution segments in a distribution map. This one's showing going from Salinas to Clovis out on the West Coast in California, here in the States, and then going into a distribution center, and then moving on to Phoenix, Arizona, over the road to yet another distribution center, and then finally going to Tucson, Arizona. So it's over the road through a couple distribution centers. You can show mapping all the way from a manufacturer or from a supply chain vendor to a manufacturer, all the way through to an end user's roll-up door or front door, if you wish, or any section of portion of the supply chain or distribution map along the way, distribution cycle along the way. You can, in the system, attach the observational data to your distribution map in the form of photos and videos, or in what we refer to as steps, where you can designate handling or equipment or transportation or hazards all along the way, storage. There are a lot of different vehicles and handling types, and a plethora of different ways that you can describe what happens to a package along the way in the distribution cycle or along the supply chain. It's all tied to our API connection to Google Maps, so you can show the movement and the map itself on a geographic map as you're mapping the package from the origin to the destination. And so it can be very visual in that respect. We're working hard to add and support logger data in the system beyond observational data onto logger data. So if you have shock, vibration, temperature, humidity, pressure data along the way, you'll be able to add that to the distribution map itself. So it's something that we're going to be adding later this year. I'm very excited about that. We have a working system in the back, in the development side of the system. We're working with logger data manufacturers right now to have a proprietary ISTA digital format for the data, so you can export the data directly from the logger data company software, and then import it right into ISTA Digital. So that's something very exciting to look forward to as we continue to be able to improve our distribution mapping capabilities and the tool in the system going forward. Next, I'm going to talk about Connect. I'll speak to that even a little later as we get closer to the demo, and show you a very early preview. Once again, we haven't shown this to anyone yet in the system, so I'll show you a little bit, not so much how it works, but what it looks like and what to expect going forward. I want to talk about collaboration in the system. As I mentioned, ISTA Digital is for ISTA members, and you can add your projects in the system and eventually your Connect posts in the system. But projects can be kept completely private to yourself. That is the default when you put a project in the system. It's completely private to you. No one else can see it unless you decide to share it with people. And you can decide to share it with all the people inside of your company with one click. That are all those others that are in your company that are also signed up for ISTA Digital and using the system. You can choose to invite specific members outside of your company as well in different supply chain and vendor spheres, any stakeholders that you would like to engage with and use ISTA Digital to collaborate with. As long as they're ISTA members and they've activated their ISTA Digital account, they can use these tools of distribution mapping and participate in the projects in the system. So collaboration is a really big deal in the system. But with so inside and outside the company, inside your sphere of customer base or stakeholders, however you refer to them, different projects, you can refer to them in different ways. That's available at no cost. And then when we move to add ISTA Connect later this spring, we're very excited that that's going to be available to anyone. It's not going to be required for you to be an ISTA member to come in and add, to become what we refer to as a data contributor and use ISTA Connect. So what this means to us is that, and to you, as you use the system, is that when you create a project, you can choose to use ISTA Connect to connect to anyone in your supply chain, anyone in your distribution cycle, upstream or downstream, into all the way down to your customers if you care to. They can sign up to be part of ISTA Connect, and you can get information from them. Or, as you are beginning to work on a project, getting ready to work on a project while you're working on the project itself or after the project. I worked in the industry for almost 30 years before I came to ISTA 3 years ago, and working on a lot of design and development R&D projects. And we always thought we had a pretty good idea of what was going on before and during the project. Sometimes there's some shadows downstream after you finish the project. You don't always know what happens to it, and are the benefits really being received by your stakeholders and your customers. What ISTA Connect allows you to do is collaborate with those upstream and downstream stakeholders in your project to find out what really happened and be able to continue to follow up and use that as a project as you continue through another. It may lead to another project for optimization and realization of your sustainability goals and design goals, and have a pack perform and reduce damage in shipping, which is what ISTA is all about. So super excited about that. So Connect is going to work both on a large screen device, whether you were on a desktop computer or on a mobile device. And and the mobile device will be a big deal, and be able to provide posts into the system, whether it be reporting damage that happens or reporting a successful shipment, or an opportunity for sustainability, or if you're contributing to a distribution map or to a project in general, you can identify handling, equipment, storage, all of those aspects that you want to document of a distribution cycle or a supply chain. So collaboration is going to be a real big key here with the addition of Connect, so that you can run projects, create projects, manage projects, collaborate if you're an ISTA member, and use the project side of the system, and then you can build a team of data contributors that can use Connect to really provide you additional information about what's going on before, during, and after a project. So Connect Post in the system will look something like this. I'll show you the real thing in a moment, but you can be working on a project for optimization or sustainability, and collect Connect Post information. You can be, look at handling like I talked about, or what's going on in the packaging area, all the way down supply chain, storage and shipping, all the way to the end use customer. You can use Connect. You will be able to use Connect in the future as you're doing tests, as the second one shows there, and third one. And we're going to use Connect during tests to collect information. So that's something exciting to look forward to. And we're also reaching out to students that are in the various university programs around the world. They can use both the power of ISTA Digital overall and Connect to document what's going on with their projects in the university and environment, whether it's class projects or senior projects or research and development they're doing as graduate students. So that's exciting part of what was going on. Connect, you'll be able to have a QR code in the system to be able to that you can publish via an email. It can be a pure link or a QR code that will bring you into the system and allow you to add a Connect post directly to a project in the system. So it's like putting a tracker on a project to be able to follow up and find out what's going on, like I mentioned earlier, before, during, or after a project. You can even start a project and collect information before starting the project itself, as you want to collect information before you go into action and work on the project in-house. And then use Connect to track at the end of the project. After the project is kind of over, you can declare the project isn't really over and continues to go forward as you collect information about to see if it's a success or not. All right, and you'll be able it may not be available in April, but you'll soon be able to, later this year, be able to add the Connect post to the distribution maps themselves. So distribution maps can be extremely simple and have very little information in them if you'd like, but you can add a lot of information in there as well with media items like videos and photos, and then step information, which is the equipment and storage and handling, and then you can have Connect posting there as well. So a lot of exciting things to look forward to there. Design is really, we would put this in here to remind you. I've already talked a lot about design projects. I've mentioned test projects going forward. We also have research and monitoring projects available to you, but we put this in here to make to let you know that you can use ISTA Digital to really document and share all of the work that you're doing. And you can, if you've ever had a system where, and you may have a system already right now, where you document the work that you do in design and development projects, test projects in the system, there's a tremendous power. I have a lot of experience in personally documenting project work like this myself, and working with other teams inside of companies and stakeholders and customers and prospects, where we're working together on projects, and to be able to document that work and have it all in one system and have a very visual look can be extremely powerful, just as you're documenting it for yourself, or if you extend it to a team that you're working with inside as they work from home or from a lab around the world, as you're working on projects, to be able to document that work and have a shared drive on steroids, basically, where you have photos and videos and attachments, specifications, all of your CAD files you could attach in there as well, and have that in ISTA Digital, and look at your project work there over time, building up a portfolio that you can share with anyone as privately or as on a teamwork basis as you want. So there's a lot of exciting things that you can do with ISTA Digital out there right now. We have collect observational data collection, data mapping, distribution mapping in the system that's available right now. We've had some general improvements since last April that we've rolled out that are available now. Connect will be coming out in spring 2025, coming right up here. And the logger data side of things is going to be later in 25. So we're excited about that. Before I jump into the demo here, I wanted to point out a few things for you to look for if you're not familiar with the system, if you haven't used it yet. That inside of the system, we have collect and design capabilities in there already. We have products that you can add to the system. We have projects that I've spoken to. And in the future, we'll be able to add packages in the system and relate them all together. So you put projects in the system and you relate them to your both your products and your packages. And that's available at no additional charge to ISTA members right now. If you choose to go activate your ISTA Digital account. And then coming later in the spring, I've talked about Connect quite a bit already, but we refer to those as posts. So we have projects and posts in the system, and that's coming out very soon. But when you look and I show you the system, you can put your products in the system. So you can go ahead, if you'd like to, ahead of time, before you do a project or before you use the system in general, you can go in and set up your products in the system, as, so that they're all defined. You can put photos and videos in there for each of your products. Whether it's your product at your company or at a stakeholder, customer, prospect, or that you're working on a project with, you can put the products in the system there, categorize them, put key product information in the system, put links to if they're available to be sold out there on e-commerce sites. You can add those e-commerce sites out there so you can keep track of your products. And then when you put projects in the system, you can associate the products with those projects in the system. And you can see in this particular case, it's a sample project that we have in the system. Down at the bottom of the card, each project in the system will have a card, and you can see that it's associated with the product there. The product is shown down at the bottom of the card. But for the project itself, you can put photos or videos that are available and shown at the top of the card. There's a name of the project, a project number. There's what project type it is, in this case, a design project. What the status of the project is active at this point, where the project is originated, basically in North America and the US in this particular case. And then there's information here on this line about the number of segments, steps, and metrics that are assigned if you have a distribution map in there. So if you have a distribution map associated with a project, you'll see those key details right there in that line. In this case, 7 segments, 21 steps, and 28 metrics that are in your map. Then it shows who's on the project itself. It says this particular project is owned by ISTA. And shows all the people that are on the project team for that project. Want to make a point that the ISTA Digital is something that ISTA is going to use as an association for the development, for its design and development projects. For research and development, and it's also for our members, like I've talked a lot about. So coming to ISTA Digital, it's a place to get information from other members and from ISTA itself, and it's a place that you can participate and put your information in as well. So you both get information primarily from ISTA and from other members as they add more information. If they choose to share their information publicly, they can. By publicly, I mean with all other ISTA Digital users. But you can get and give information if you'd like, but you can also just keep it entirely private and secure on your own if you like. That's really the default when you add a project to the system. I'll point out here that the project type, each project has a type in the system. You'll see 6 different types here. I show it here in the presentation side because it goes by pretty fast when I do a demo. But I want to point out that 2 of those, like I said, we're going to be using ISTA Digital. We already are for research and development on our side of things. There are 2 project types that are available only for ISTA. So when you go in the system, you'll see the other 4. You'll see the research and monitoring, design for responsible packaging by design. That's what RPBD stands for. It follows that particular project type follows the statuses and the steps of our RPBD standard. and guide. We're excited about that. And then there's test projects that are available in there as well. So there's going to be 4 types of projects when you go in there. And I mentioned privacy, or we call it visibility in the system. The default is project team. When you create a project, the default would be project team. And since you're creating the project, you're the only one on the project team when you start. So it's completely, the projects by default are completely private to you. No one else will see them unless you specifically add somebody to the project team, or if you choose to set the project visibility to share it automatically with all company users. Anybody else that's using ISTA Digital that's in your company, you can very quickly just select that as the project visibility, and they'll immediately see that when they log on to ISTA Digital. Or you can choose, if you want to share a particular project eventually with all the other ISTA Digital users, you can choose public in there, and you'll be able to share that information with anybody that logs into ISTA Digital. On the Connect side of things, like I said, coming up later this next season in spring, each Connect post in the system is also represented by a small card in the system where you'll see the photos or videos that are associated with it. You'll be able to see how many people have liked your post. You can like projects and you can like posts in the system as well. And you'll be able to see anybody that sees it will be able to have that option to like it, and then you'll be able to see how many likes you get. And then in the Connect post side of things, it will also show how many people have viewed your Connect post in the system. And so that's something to look for when we jump over to the demo. And let me do that now. So once again, if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat, and we'll try to get to them here as soon as possible. So here I am on my desktop system. I'm on a Windows PC right now. I'm using Chrome as a browser. ISTA Digital works inside of the browser, so it'll work on a desktop computer system, whether you're on a Windows device, a Windows computer, computer running Windows, or if you're on a MacBook on the Apple side of things and running Mac OS. It works very well in Safari as well in the browser, not a problem. And then on the tablet side of things, it'll run just fine in an Android tablet or on an iPad on the Apple side of things. And iPad OS works just fine and great on Safari and on those devices as well. On a phone device, it'll run just fine in the browser on a phone device as well. But for the most part, our ISTA Digital is set up for a larger screen device. So it'll work on a small screen device, but it really is set up for the larger screen device. The exception will be Connect. Connect will work on a small screen device a little bit better, where we just spend a little bit more to invest in making that experience work a little bit better on a phone device. So you can be out before, during, and after a project, whether you're in the lab or in the field, and be able to provide observational data with respect to a project or for distribution mapping, exercise for supply chain or distribution cycle that you're looking to map, and provide that observational data and metric data, frankly, using a small screen phone device as well. So here I am at the login screen. Like I said, once you're signed up for ISTA Digital, you'll see this and be able to log in. If you're not signed up yet, you can click on this sign up for ISTA Digital at the bottom. As long as you're an ISTA member, it'll walk you through the process. It'll ask you to put in your email that's associated with your ISTA membership, and then it'll send you an email to your email to verify, make sure you're who you are. And so you have to go out to that email. It might be caught in a spam filter, so just be more concerned about that, or focused on that. Doesn't happen very often, but every once in a while it has. But you can go and just click that link in that email, and then continue the sign up process. Put in a separate password. You can set it to the same password as you use for your ISTA.org website membership account. That's fine. And then you can go to digital, come back to digital.ista.org at any time and sign into the system. So I'm going to click sign in right now, and it'll bring me into show me, it defaults to the project list right here. You can see I'm in, like I said, in Chrome. I have 3 different tabs open. I might switch back and forth between those tabs at different instances of between like the research and development side of the QA side of versions of ISTA Digital as I show you different features in the system. Like I said, each project in the system is represented as a card. You can go through and look at the different photos or videos associated with the project here by clicking the arrows at the top of the card, or you can click the card itself and it goes into this large media window where you can view like a presentation style view of all the photos and videos that are associated with the project itself. Okay, and if there's a video, it'll play right here, stream from the ISTA Digital servers. And you can collaborate with everyone that's on the project, see any changes that have gone on since you last looked at the project, and be able to keep track of things in a visual way. If you want to create a new project, you just click this new project button in the upper right-hand corner, and it comes up. It defaults to a design project, but like I showed you in the presentation before I jumped over here, there's 6 different types for me because I'm on ISTA staff. For you, you would see 4 different project types for research and monitoring, design by RPPD guidelines, the responsible packaging by design standard that we have, or a test project. And then you can set the project visibility. Like I showed you before, it defaults to project team, but you can choose a different project visibility. The only fields that are really required inside a project are those 2 that I just showed you that are already pre-filled in. But a project title, so you would do test or whatever the name of your project you wanted it to be. You can provide an optional project description. You can specify and search for the products that you've already added to the product database in the system. You can put in the volume of packages shipped and how often you ship them. And you can put in key project dates if you wish, but that's not required. And you hit save, and it'll open up the project and allow you to put in media items right away. If you want, whether those are photos or videos, that's going to be best in order to show on the card in the project view like you see here. Once you have a project in the system and you want to take a look at it, you can click here and open up the project itself. Like I said, you can look at who's on there's different sections here. When you click on the header, it'll expand and contract those different sections. You can see the project team, the distribution map. We have an area for test that's still under development right now. All the media, you can look at all the media items that are on the project and the attachments, any notes that you've added, or a collection. We'll talk about collection on a different demo in the future. But you can just essentially put reference other projects and collect them into this project and have a cross-reference between multiple projects. So if you have a bunch of projects going on, you can collect them into a single project and have references there. It'll show the product that's associated with the project right here. If I click on Edit Team, it'll basically show you anybody that's already associated with the project, and anybody that has a check next to them is already on the project. So it shows, in this case, all the people that are eligible in my company. You can just add a check next to them. If I wanted to add Megan to this project, I can just check it, and then I hit save. When I hit save, it'll automatically send an email out to Megan letting her know that she's been invited and added to a project. Super simple and easy to do. If you have anybody that you've worked on outside of your company on any project before, you'll see them listed down here. So eventually you could have a lot of people down here. We refer to those as company contacts. You can very easily put a check next to them and hit save, and it'll send that same invite out to them, right? You can also invite a new contact here. This is super powerful. If you click on invite a new contact, you just need their email address. Okay, if they're out there, when you enter somebody's email address, we'll look and see if they're an ISTA Digital member, and allow you to, when you click the validate button, we'll automatically look and check to see if they're an ISTA Digital member and if they've activated their ISTA Digital account. If they have, it'll send that invite message to them, right? Even if they're outside your company, you can invite them to your project. If they haven't, if they're not an ISTA member, or they are and they haven't activated their ISTA Digital account, it'll send an invite email to them, encouraging them to letting them know that you've invited them to a project, and encouraging them to take the next step to get their ISTA Digital account set up so they can become part of the project. So it's incredibly powerful way to grow your team and get people using ISTA Digital, and have them become part of the project. So you can edit that and expand this section and look at everyone that's on the project, or you can click edit team, edit project team in this case, and be able to manage who's in here and who's on the project. Want to mention, you might have seen this, it says admin or editor next to a lot of these. You can set up for each person that you invite, you can set them up as an admin, which gives them all the same rights that you have on the project. They can be an editor, which is they can edit most everything in the project, or they can just be a viewer, and it's really read only for them. So you can control exactly what level each of the members of the project team can see, and who can see your project, and how they work with it. You can also click up here to see the large media window, just like I showed you from the tab for that other project. From the top of the card, when you click on that, it opens up the large media window. When you click here, up here, you see the same thing. It opens up the large media window for that project. I'll show you the media items here. Like I mentioned, if you expand the media section, it shows all the photos and videos that are associated with this project. That large media window that I just opened up, these are the photos and videos that you see in that large media window. You can click and drag to change the order of all the photos and videos that are in that large media window, and you can set a primary photo or video that appears at the top of the project card. And first, when you click on it and open it up and look at it, you can start the large media window by clicking on this button right here, and it'll start the presentation, so to speak, in the large media window from that particular photo or video. You can edit the video. If you're an editor for this project, you can designate and control a lot of information about each media item in the project. You can also add attachments. This one doesn't have any attachments. You just click add attachment, and it'll open up your file browser, file manager, and be able to grab that. Oh, and if you're on a tablet, or on a mobile device, if you will, a tablet or a phone, if you click add media, it's going to go right to your camera roll, and so you can add the photo or video there. And you can add a note, or, like I said, another project into as a collection into this. So that's the overview, quick overview. There's a lot more to projects in general, but that's an overview of project. Oh, I suppose I should show what I didn't show you is the distribution map here. You can see that this is the same project that I was just in. There's 7 segments, 21 steps, and 28 project metrics in this distribution map. If I click on View Details, it'll open up the distribution map itself. Here are the different segments on a timeline showing the dates and the overall duration of the distribution map. You can double click on any of the segments and be able to set whether this is what the mode was, whether it's air, road, rail, or ocean, or it's an intermediate destination. In this case, it's a manufacturing facility at the very beginning or origin of the distribution map. You can set the location. It's optional to put in a location, but if you set the location here, and the location will show up in the map, which I'll show you in a minute. You can set the duration setup. You can assign package and put notes in there. You can move from segment to segment and show the intermediate destination, whether it be the manufacturer or a distribution or sorting facility along the way. or you can designate a transportation event or segment, whether it's moving in this case, in an LTL configuration through a carrier, and you can specify what carrier that is. Or you can, in a situation, you can of where the product is moving, the package is moving, you can designate depending on the mode, in this case, over the road, the very specific vehicle that it's moving in. If I were to change this, for instance, to rail, it's going to show a bunch of rail vehicles. If I put it in ocean, it's going to go show a bunch of ocean going vehicles. So you can be very specific if you want. You can keep it really simple, or you can provide a lot of details as you go through and map out the distribution cycle or supply chain. Here, I just turned on the map. If I turn this on, and like I said, we're connected to the Google Map API. And in this particular case, this is a distribution just out in Western United States from Central California, Northern California, out to Phoenix and on to Tucson. You can see that there are photos designated along the way, along the stops. In this case, it was over the road. I believe there's also a photo that I put in here that I just added to and it was taken at a local Costco here by me, and it shows up. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, so it shows it there on the map. And you can very easily go into the information, the metadata, and be able to associate that with a particular segment inside the distribution map. So anyways, that's more of a advanced feature that I don't have time to go over here right now. We just have a few minutes left in our demo. I want to just flash over and show our Connect side of things. So I just went over to our development server version of ISTA Digital. I just want to show you Connect real quick, that these are Connect posts in the system, once again, that are going to be available to anyone. You don't have to be an ISTA member to be able to create your ISTA Digital account and use the Connect side of it and add Connect posts in the system. If I open up, this works very similar to a card here, and you can look at the different media items that are associated with the Connect post. If I click here, I'm going to open up the Connect post in this particular case and look at the different media items. I can go back to the Connect view and open up this one. I'll open up this one as a test one that I put in here. You can put in what we call observations here, where you can identify, if you can see it in yellow here, you can identify damage or an opportunity for sustainability or a handling situation right on the photo itself. So in this case, I'm identifying a fork truck. That's gas petrol fork truck. I can identify the pallet in the photo here. I can identify a hazard to a particular package in this case, where you might see maximum top load on this package in the unitized load here, and express a particular type of hazard in a vertical compression of 150 pounds in this case. So the Connect post can be very powerful to provide observational data before, during, and after a shipment, or before, during, and after eventually a test. As you're contributing to a test report, or as you're building out a distribution map in the system. So Connect posts, we're very excited about that. That's a very quick preview. It's a real thing. We're excited about how far it's come in the system so far. We have several months worth of development to finish out the Connect post side of things. And we're looking forward to talking about that more I'll be presenting at the ISTA Forum later this year in Orlando in late March, just a couple months away. We're excited about that. And I'll be providing some of this information that I've showed you today and more as we get closer to the version 1.5 of ISTA Digital, where we'll be rolling out Connect and making that available to everyone. Of course, if you're a regular member, ISTA member, and a regular user of ISTA Digital, you'll be able to use Connect as well. But you'll also be able to reach out to other folks and invite them to become users of ISTA Digital as you build out a team or a crew for that feedback before, during, and after a project, or before, during, and after a test. So super excited about that. That kind of brings my demonstration and this live demo to a close. right now. And just like to thank you for your time. Lisa, I'm not sure if we have any questions or anybody.
We don't have any questions right now.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you see my email down there at the bottom of the screen on the lower right. mthompson@ista.org is my email. Feel free to reach out and ask questions, or go to digital.ista.org to find out more information and sign up. And we look forward to having you on future live demos. We'll do this every month or two. And you can come back and learn a lot more about what's going on as we add more and more tools to ISTA Digital. And we're very excited about the application. We're very pleased to have you here on the demo today. I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening, wherever you're logging in from all over the world. Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you for attending. Thank you, Matt. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you, Lisa. Bye-bye.